Hi there.
Have you been watching YouTube lately?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of Baggy Hi-Fi?
Baggy Hi-Fi, load of bloody rubbish. Greetings, mods and rockers, punks and proggers. Welcome to Baggy Hi-Fi, this YouTube channel devoted to record collecting and the vinyl community here in the UK. Well, this latest video is a response to Rob Walker up there in Manchester, or down there in Manchester in the north west, and he has begun this thread where he showed 10 singles which in the song title refer to a famous person. Now other people, I haven't watched that many responses, but other people have shown albums, and I'm going to show albums too, and then pick a song off one of those albums which should mention a famous person or a famous-ish person, because I think some of the people I'm going to be showing in this are slightly obscure, but I have tried to avoid reproducing what other people have shown. The first one is a very well-known album, Simon & Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water, big hit in 1969 I think, or 1970, and on this one is So Long Frank Lloyd Wright, famous modernist American architect. Now I've noticed that all of these famous people I'm mentioning in this thread are either musicians, artists, or writers. Anyway, some artists in some way, and that is just by chance. I haven't really been clever in picking out, but they are all artists, either musical or in literature or in painting or whatever, or in design, and in this case architecture. So that's the first one, Frank Lloyd Wright. This next album is by John Cale, the Academy in Peril album, one of his more avant-garde albums, some orchestral pieces on here, and the track and the person I'm picking out in this one is the second track on side one, Brahms, refers to the composer Brahms. So that's the first of a couple of John Cale albums I'll be showing in this video. And funnily enough, this next record, I'm going to show a few records by them as well, because they do often refer to famous people. So this is the TV personalities from one of their earlier albums, Mummy You're Not Watching Me. This is a reissue, and the track I'm going to pick out is side two, the first track on side two, David Hockney's Diaries, 60s artist, well, came to fame in the 60s, still very popular today, David Hockney from Bradford. And as I say, there'll be some more from the TV personalities later in this video. Now, this next one is slightly tenuous because I'm not really sure whether this artist really exists, despite scouring the internet about an hour ago to see whether this person really did exist. But it's from an amazingly fantastic album, which I think is the equal of Sgt. Pepper's, the Bee Gees' first album, absolute masterpiece of Baroque 60s pop. But the track I'm picking out is Craze Finton Kirk Royal Academy of Arts. And if you listen to the lyrics, it is about a painter, or it talks about his using his pencil. A Royal Academy of Arts is, of course, if you have RA after your name, it means you're a member of the British Royal Academy of Arts. Craze Finton Kirk, I like to think, although I didn't find whether he was a real artist or not, I like to think of him as some sort of very late 19th century academic painter. But a marvellous tune nevertheless, and I believe it was also a hit in Australia, covered by another artist who did this great Gibb Brothers song, Craze Finton Kirk Royal Academy of Arts. Back to the television personalities now, from their album Privilege from the mid-80s, and we're referring to a famous painter in this one, Salvador Dali, and it's the last track on side one on this album, Privilege, and the track is called Salvador Dali's Garden Party. Greetings, as you hear a sample of Dali throughout that excellent song, which I think was a 7-inch single as well. Back to John Cale for this next one, from his wonderful album Paris 1919. The track I'm going to pick out, you may have guessed if you know this album, is Greene. Wonderful Catholic novelist of the 20th century, and a great song as well, Greene. Having Tea with Graham Greene. Back to the television personalities again, from their album, another one of their early albums, They Could Have Been Bigger Than the Beatles. Yes, they really could have. And the track with the famous person's name in it I'm going to pick out is, once again, David Hockney. David Hockney's Diary. That artist again. Now, is that the same song? David Hockney's Diaries is the track on the other one, so it's not the same song, I don't think. Only just noticed that now. Anyway, this next record I'm going to show is one of my favourites and probably one of Julian Cope's best albums, Fried. Just been reading his second autobiography, which covers these early 80s solo years. And the track I'm going to mention is Bill Drummond Said. Now you may say, who's Bill Drummond? Well, Bill Drummond was the manager of the Teardrop Explodes, Julian Cope's first big band, and Bill Drummond went on to be an artist in his own right, albeit under the name of the KLF, Justified Ancients of Moo Moo, you may remember from the 90s. Yeah, so that's Bill Drummond Said. Finally, number 10, an album which I've just bought, yet another of the guises of Billy Childish. At the moment he's going under the name of the William Loveday Intention, and the album is called Paralysed by the Mountains. So there he is wearing his tweed jacket and canvas backpack, looking like a 19th century alpine climber or explorer. Now this is not the usual garage rock from Billy Childish under the William Loveday Intention name. It's more like sort of mid-60s Bob Dylan. And he's putting out loads of these albums under the name William Loveday Intention. So what's the track I'm picking out on here? Well, the track I'm picking out is a track called Joe Strummer's Grave. Joe Strummer, of course, the late singer of The Clash. So that's my final choice in these 10 records that mention famous people or semi-famous people perhaps. So until the next time, bye for now.